related to that is also a key measurement as far as we are concerned. We also have weekly meetings. What we look at is where we have a negative throughput, where we have a low throughput. And the negative throughput is the micro focus that I'm talking about, that you drill it down to the extent of finding out where are you generating a negative throughput, and we will then find ways to get rid of it. We would find ways to convert it into focus. So to me, this bifocality is absolutely necessary, which is a macro level and a micro level. The second tenet is measurements, which we all have been again talking about. And that measurements change attitude. For us, again, the main measurement, I think Mr. Gaurav Sarup is gone. He used the word T. We have the language that we use is T, and which is the same as throughput. But TP is now so institutionalized in the company, everybody understands. I will not be surprised if our driver also knows what throughput is and what is happening. There has been a very big role of the IT part, making it absolutely online and trying to get it as close to reality as possible. We cannot claim it to be 100% correct, neither there is a need for it. It just needs to be online, on time. So every transaction, big or small, every transaction happening at any time, we would know with a click of a button exactly what is the throughput that is being generated. To the extent that when orders are placed in the company, the calculations of throughput would happen. If the throughput is not what is specified, the order will not go through. Then it needs to be escalated, somebody else needs to come in and take a call on that. These measurements are, of course, reviewed every week. There is a cross-functional team which does that, and the problems are sorted out then and there. So sometimes, whether it's for commercial reasons or for some wrong calculations, or there may be some unaccounted changes that may have happened, it is possible that you may go into very low throughputs, or all those things are sorted out then and there. There is an extension of throughput which we call as a throughput percentage. That is not a measurement, that is only a guiding factor for us. And the throughput percentage is basically to decide whether I want to do this or I don't want to do this. The costing department has come out with that this is what we can cost it, and somebody the marketing side has said this is what we can sell at. So we figure out that the throughput percentage is in the right order or not, and that is a decision to introduce a product or not to introduce a product. Similarly, it's also used for continuing a product or discontinuing a product. It's also used for, so if there is a throughput percentage which is high on a product, we would say that here there is a potential for increasing your throughput. Therefore, you could actually give a little bit of a discount, increase your sales, and increase the throughput. So these are all measurements that we, and of course, the overhead expenses or OEs, as we all know, and OTIF. We are, as a company, in spite of being 11 years at it or 12 years at it, I think these two areas we're still very weak at. On the OTIF part and on the OE part, just keeping an eye on the OE. I think the OE has escalated to far beyond our expectations or our specifications. And OTIF, somewhere it's probably the demand is not pushing us to it. We recognize its power, but we keep it for the next stage to kind of improve it. What we measure is serviceability in 24 hours. That means from the time the order has come to us, in how many hours or how much percentage goes out within 24 hours to our distributor. As the flavor of the company is changing, and I will come to that, where we are becoming more and more consumer oriented, we will have to change this definition from not just supplying to a distributor, but eventually reaching the consumer, because that is where the fulfillment that has to happen. The familiar story, I will repeat it for everybody's satisfaction. So in 2006, when we first, I don't think that was the first time we met. I think we met when you were in Aisha, and we did start that concept of PPC. I still remember that. But in his new Avatar, 2006, when we met, the company was having a very healthy top line growth, but no profits. The profits were responsibility of only one person in the company. No guesses, but the managing director. Nobody else was concerned with the profits. Second, a year would go by. By the time you prepared your balance sheet, the law allowed you 6 months, and therefore you were very quickly into 30th of September of the following year. That is the time when you would begin to know the profits of the previous year. Right? And any kind of corrective action, absolutely out of question. Because half a year of the following time has also gone by. They were seasonal sales. Now I'm not saying that seasonality does not exist, but seasonality exists. So we have the high season, which is probably in most of the businesses, the October, November, December, and even part of January, and you had a huge amount of sales. But what we found, that seasonality was also being created by us. So जब बाजार में customer है, माल बिक रहा है, सब चीज हो रही है, at that time we would give schemes to enhance that. And obviously for us, products being voluminous, etc., there would always be an unfulfilled or a demand which probably went away unfulfilled. We believed that we were into commodity business. We could make so much of money and no more. We believed that there were only two types of products in the world, commodities and future commodities. So the whole world was just going towards that direction. This gentleman taught us that's not true. There is values which can be given to a customer without adding cost, and you could actually charge them more. Again, very familiar, all functions were doing well. Operations doing very well, sales, marketing doing very well, finance, accounts, and all these service sides, of course, doing well, but the company not doing well. Very familiar. So something was not right. Obviously, our resources, time, energy was definitely misplaced, and we had to get this right. So we started on a journey in 2006. We call it a 12-year journey. Ravi promised us that, I don't know if it was 4 years or 3 years, that you will make the top line as the bottom line.
Top of gold.
Achha, okay. So he said in 3 years, and you probably said 4 years, 5 years.
Now, top line to bottom line in 4 years was my vision. This concept was made with top line.
Yes, so this was absolute music to our ears. ऐसे 4 के 14 भी हो जाएंगे, कोई बात नहीं, but अगर top line जो है bottom line बन जाएगी. So I mean that was something that we started. Of course, there were questions, like some of the people have said before that. People are used to sales, whether you call it tons or you call it meters or whatever it was, people were used to that. ऐसे throughput करें या sales करें, ये कैसे दोनों चीज नहीं हो सकती. We cannot, and we are used to. Market is used to. Market is all aligned to sales. आपकी top line क्या है? Throughput का concept कहाँ से है? कैसे fit करेंगे इसको? I used to break, or my team, or some of these people used to break our heads trying to say that throughput also has the element of sales in it. It is just sales minus the variable cost. Therefore, if sales will increase, throughput will increase, provided the variable costs are in control. But it was a big question to get across to everybody. Fortunately, after so many years, I don't know if it It takes so many years for every, but it's a cultural change. Today, we do talk about it. On the other hand, we are now probably coming to a case where throughput is beginning to lose its shine. We have to kind of revive it. The second thing in the review meetings, and this is used to irk Mr. Ravi Gilani to no extent, was somebody will come up, hey, numbers theek nahi. Right. I mean, whatever the numbers get, he said, mujhe lagta hai numbers theek. Now, iska koi ilaaj nahi. So somewhere you have to say, yeah, you have to believe these are the numbers and let's kind. Because numbers theek nahi hai, so you can go into a discussion to know it. और आज fortunately weekly measurements institutionalized हो गए हैं. In fact, we have daily numbers which keep coming. I think number still goes to you every morning. But you can probably click at any time. But that time, people said, yeah, weekly, it's just too early. You know, how can you have a meeting on that? It's just too quick. But all these things have, and I must thank the IT. We sort of back that up to say that as true as possible, as correct as possible, the numbers are correct. And today, people rarely question numbers. Every transaction is online, and if big or small, as I said, is absolutely. There is one measurement which goes across the company. Everybody is aligned to that. And as I said, attitudes are kind of changing. Accountability is coming in. And I think the biggest gain, Ravi, that we have had for the throughput as a measurement and not tons for operations is that we are developing business leaders. And it's just not sales managers or it's not operation managers. They're beginning to see that the profit part of it or the gain part of it or the contribution part of it. So have we succeeded? I think we're far behind. But the thought really brings in a business leadership attitude. And that's a big gain for us. Just to tell us a little about ourselves. We are a 45-year-old company. Today a turnover close to 2,000 crores. We were first to list after demonetization, and many people called us brave. Fortunate, it got through, and fortunately the share value has also been holding on, and today the market cap is, if you look at dollars, is about $1 billion. 7,000 crore है, dollar जब 70 को cross कर जाएगा तो will become poorer, but otherwise that's the level where we are. The flagship brand of the company is Sleeper. We make two kinds of products. We make basically flexible polyurethane foam, which is a cushioning material. So anywhere, wherever, any little cushioning is required, lining of suitcases, diaries, purses, juta, chappal, furniture, packaging, carpet underlays. However, the two major applications remain are furniture cushioning and bedding or mattresses. These are the two largest in the world. Polyurethane foam is an extremely versatile polymer. From the time that it was invented in 1930s, it was actually invented by a mistake or by an error, as most good things are. There was this Dr. Otto Bayer in Germany preparing for the Second World War. They were looking for a replacement for rubber because they needed the military machinery, and all the way coming from Malaysia or Sri Lanka was too long. So that's when polyurethane was discovered. It still holds good. It only improves. There is not much of a replacement that is there in the market as far as this product. However, both the products, foam as well as mattresses, are voluminous products. Very voluminous, many SKUs, difficult to transport in a country where roads and trucks are are not so good, or the efficiency is not so good, and finally sold at places where the space is at a premium. So किसी छोटी गली में जाके कहीं कोई दुकान है, उस दुकान में जगह नहीं है, voluminous product है. So what it taught us, and that's how we evolved, that you needed to manufacture as close to the markets as possible. You needed to have a good distribution system, and you needed to then go on to the retailing side. So today we have 11 plants across the country, as you would see. We have 110 distributors and 6,000 retailers, approximately 6,000 retailers. A majority of them are exclusive to us. And the distributors and of course the manufacturing is completely exclusive, but the retailers also, we are selling our materials through exclusive outlets. Similarly, we have a business in Australia. Of course, there we are not committed right up to the consumer, but we supply foam to other mattress manufacturers who in turn sell to retail chains, and therefore we are a little distanced from the consumer. There is one more application of foam, which may be information to some people here, and which is it's called technical foams, where besides the cushioning part, you look at other possibilities. So for sound absorption, all the generators that you see in all the engine rooms, etc., they are lined with foams which absorb sound and quieten the process. Sound recording rooms, air conditioning filters, lingerie industry, shoe industry, helmet industry. These are all areas where, besides the cushioning part, we use this part. One value which flows across the company, and it's a completely encompassing value, and we try to live to it, which is integrity. The way we describe it is, whatever you do in life, it has to be with the right intentions. So we would compete in the market, fiercely compete, but the competition thoughts will never be to kill somebody or to close down somebody. It will always be to enhance yourself, and then we leave it at that. The second definition, which runs up again, as I said, in the company, is that what you think, what you speak, what you mean, what you act, it's all one. Right? This value takes care of all the other values. We of course have values like reliability, humility, agility, resilience, but this one value just flows right across. I thought I will just bring it to your notice while describing who we are. Next 5 years. So our thoughts are, as I said, there are 3 segments of the business that we are in. The bedding side, mattress side, polyurethane foam, cushioning side, and the technical side of things. So on all 3, as far as the mattress bedding is concerned, our dream is that we want to have a mattress for every Indian. It doesn't matter which economic group he or she is in. Doesn't matter which kind of geography, which kind of temperature, which kind of climates. We do cater to quite a wide variety, but if that variety needs to be extended or expanded, in our portfolio we should have, and we should be able to reach it, a mattress for every Indian. On the technical foams, most of the technical foams, till about 2 years, 3 years back, were being imported into the country. Our facilities are comparable to the best in the world. We're proud about that, and we would like that all imports should stop. The key to all this making, and as I said, it's a voluminous product, is availability. That we have to make this product or these products available across, which means what? Which means operations need to be sufficient and more than sufficient, which means the trucking and the freight part of it has to be well aligned, and then the distribution to go along with it. So again, I take words of Mr. Gilani, who said that as you proceed on the journey, and somebody did ask me during the tea coffee session before, I think it was the gentleman from Sarda, that the constraint keeps shifting. Sometimes it is in operations, sometimes it shifts to the market, sometimes, and you cannot change your policy so quickly. You cannot train your people so quickly. So as you progress, the best thing is that your constraint should lie one place. Of course, it may change after 5 years, that's another story. So we are trying that our constraint should lie in the market. Create so much of operation capabilities, create so much of distribution capabilities, and final retailing possibilities, and to be able to create products you can reach anywhere and everywhere, that the constraint should always lie in the market. That's our one next 5-year program. The second one is growing the market. So, of course, whatever is the market, whatever is growing, we will ensure from the operation side that we will cater to it. But as leaders in this, I think it's also our duty, it's our responsibility to grow the markets. So if I look at India, the consumption is of flexible polyurethane foam, the product that we deal in, is about 150 grams per person per annum. The other geography that we are in is Australia. It's already well over 1 kilo. And mind you, in Australia there is no manufacturing, virtually no manufacturing. So there are automobiles have completely shifted out of the place, furniture making has shifted out of the place. In spite of that, the consumption is about more than 1 kilo per person. You look at developing countries like Brazil, China, Russia, they are also many times above us. So I think we need to invest in R&Ds and innovations to ensure that the markets grow. The products are made as they are needed and required. India is different from the world, and we should have products and services which are completely. I'll just share one which also actually came from the TOC side. So there are no standard sizes in mattresses. Australia has 4 standard sizes: single, double, queen and king. In India, we have 24 standard sizes, but still only 30% sells as standard sizes. Everything else was what we called as odd sizes. Because the furniture industry was reserved for cottage industry earlier, so there was no standard. हर कोई जैसा अपना चाहता था बेड बनवा लेते थे. So then you have to go and measure. We were keeping away from that business. We said, yeah, and we called it odd size. Odd size, till the time we recognize that's not going to go away. Right? Best way is get ready, prepare for that. So starting from measuring, right measurement using IT and other methods, to actually creating the product and delivering it to the consumer. And in fact, we changed the name from odd size to what do we call it? Custom made size. And we charge for it. Again, completely contrary to the existing practices in the market. वहाँ पर तो per square inch के हिसाब से per square meter के ये size है तो ये rate हो गया वो. So today that part of it is growing. It's almost about 45-50% of the business, and we charge 5% extra for that. But that's the uniqueness of the country, and therefore I was saying that we must have products which cater to the country. One more part that we talk a lot in Sheela Foam is, and maybe it comes from a little bit from our engineering background, to say that complexity or entropy or disorder continues to increase. You have a closed system, even if it's impacted from outside or not. Disorder will, whatever you do in life, you will create a disorder. And complexity takes away energy, sucks away accountability, does everything wrong. So for all processes, there has to be a parallel process for simplifying. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't. But whenever you set up a process, you would say, what is the disorder it will create? And let's have a parallel process where we will constantly keep simplifying this. Maybe I have exceeded my time. In summary, I would just say that so on the time basis, if I just take a minute more, and Ravi, we were talking about punctuality. I was mentioning to him that हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी को स्वच्छता के साथ में अगर हम एक चीज और जोड़ दें, वो समय की प्रतिबद्धता या punctuality, तो कितना समय और कितना effort और कितना energy बचेगी. एक incident मुझे याद आता है, there used to be an architect of ours. Whenever he would come to meet me, आधा घंटा लेट, 1 घंटा लेट was a normal thing. That was all. और कभी नहीं भी आए तो there was no apology. By that time, mobile phones had come up. So one day I told him, I said, Rajan, तुम जब ट्रेन पकड़ते हो तो समय से पहुंच जाते हो, प्लेन पकड़ते हो समय से पहुंच जाते हो, मुझसे मिलने आते हो तो समय से नहीं पहुंचते. So obviously the problem lies with me. It's not with you, right? Next time that you come, if I'm available, I'll meet. If I'm not, only once it happened. I said, यार आज टाइम. उसके बाद में कभी एक आध 2-4-5 मिनट दिल्ली में लेट हो जाना is a normal thing. But there would be a phone, and so I think it is something what we accept, what we do, and on that part of it, I will also try to sort of curtail this down. For me, events, thank you very much. Events like this help us to learn, get recharged, and as I said, that the right measurements being in place at the right focused areas help us to eventually bring out the improvements. Focusing on both the macro and the micro issues that are there. I know TOC says that there are no conflicts that exist. I don't know if the now and the future part has been resolved or not, but I think the future is coming quicker, and therefore it's probably getting automatically resolved. It's not too far away. And again, repeating that this is the best way to develop business leaders. IT always has to play a big role. Simplification needs to be sort of built into the system. I have a lot of faith in India, into our business, into our industry. I think recently I read that we have become the 6th largest economy, probably just crossed France. And by 2025, we will probably double the size of economy. So thank you very much for listening. I'm ready for questions. Only one more. It's a word. It's a suggestion for you to consider. So whenever I try to discuss TOC with people from outside our company and somebody who's not, the word constraint seems to be a constraint, in the sense that it has some negative. I know that's the process. So I try, and I'm only sharing with you what we do. We call it either theory of improvements, or we call it as theory of happiness. And that makes it easier for me. And constraint, of course, is the one that we need to focus. So thank you very much. Ready for questions.
Thank you, sir, for that session.
So just one question here. Very interesting sharing of experience. You mentioned about this interesting thought in 4 to 5 years' time, making top line as bottom line. So that's the future. Now, do you foresee that? Is it a feasible concept or feasible target? And number 2, if yes, then how would it apply to Sheela Foam?
So as far as 4 years concerned, I would leave it to Mr. Gilani to answer that. But somewhere what I forgot to mention that the throughput part from 2006, which was a number of about 69 lakhs per week, today is 560, which is a 20% CAGR from in that 11 years or 12 years. That's the growth that has been there. Now, 4 years do I see it? I'm actually getting more hopeful after the GST because our industry is an extremely unorganized industry, and we form a very small part of that industry. If the GST gets implemented as correctly, or I mean in its full glory, I think we can do it. We have the right way. It may not be 4 years, but in 5 years to make the top line as bottom line, I think we can do it. And this is just that right time.
I'm going to request Mr. Ravi Gilani, founder and managing consultant, Goldrat India, to hand over a token of appreciation to Mr. Rahul Gautam.
Thank you, Rahul.